This program is uniquely qualified to help the student achieve their ambition and their goals. At the end of the day, our graduates, they have a very versatile skill set. Being an engineering program hosted in a college of the environment, which is very unique. So they're very versatile, which makes them very attractive for a large variety of industries, roles, and areas. We've had students work obviously for traditional pulp and paper industry, and some of them are even supporting the programs through internships. So I'm thinking of like Georgia Pacific, International Paper, and others. There are also other industries that our students end up working for: Amazon, Boeing, Starbucks, and so on and so forth. So those are like the larger international corporations.
I think if there's a process to work on, BSE has the Educational Foundation to get you there. Specifically, there's pulp and paper, there's bioproducts. I've got a friend who's working in solar, lots of process controls on whatever process you could think of. I don't think we're constrained to just one industry here, even though the Washington Pulp and Paper Foundation makes it quite easy to get into that industry and find cool avenues that way, and that's certainly the path that I took, but options are endless.
I had a couple of friends that ended up in working for paper companies. They tend to love it. Quite a few work at Amazon, doing work with sustainable packaging, and then another one works at SpaceX.
I would say overall for my internship with Sunoco, what I really appreciated, and I feel like what I carry forward into my work today, is just learning how to work within an industry, but also work within a team, since people bring so much expertise, but also how to take initiative on the projects and the topics that I'm interested in. And I feel like that was kind of my first experience, is like being able to take initiative and design my own project while at an internship. So I feel like I still take elements of that into the work that I do today.
I think the nice thing about this degree is that it's very generally sustainability focused. So it was kind of born from like the paper and pulp industry, but I think it's able to be applied to many different fields. A lot of alumni have gone to some bigger companies like Tesla, Starbucks, Google. We've had a lot of students also just interested in a lot of different fields. I have one student that's kind of interested in even like sustainable fashion, which is like a newer thing, but it's something that can be applied to that field and could potentially move in that area. I think if you're just generally interested in sustainability and engineering, there's a lot of ways to go those routes.
Ed has a lot of great connections and loves to bring in a lot of alumni that he's met and he's networked with. My network has grown substantially because of Ed and because of the WPPF and the support that we get from alumni. It's a really fun way to see what people are doing and what we could be doing in the future.
We hosted a new event called a Bioeconomy Career Day. So we again had a career panel where we had recent graduates talk about what it was like that first year after graduation. We had companies give discussions and presentations on what are they doing around sustainability. Some companies gave a talk about how they're replacing plastic packaging with paper packaging. We had another company talk about how they're removing what's called a forever chemical, PFAS, how they're taking that out of food packaging with a more sustainable option. And finally, we had another group that talked about the overall bioproducts industry, how they're taking waste from a sawmill, and that waste is then used to make paper products. And then the waste that comes out of that paper manufacturing process, they're actually combining with molasses to turn into a fertilizer. So again, we're really trying to show students out there that this really is a circular economy. When you graduate with a BSE degree, you're not necessarily, just in the bioproducts area. You're really learning problem solving, and you're learning how do I make a process better. And those are the type of skills that you can take to any company or any industry out there.